Hello everyone, a little bit of advice today before we get stuck into vectors. In fact, into the going to be going through the question that I asked you to upload, which is question 13 on error intervals, and half of you have done that. The other half I haven't seen anything in time to be able to do it. So just as a bit of advice going forwards, for those of you who may have got behind a little bit, don't worry so much about doing the very first videos. Or if you could always try and make sure you've done today's lesson, and then if you've had time to catch up and do another lesson at some point, then tick those off. But every day treat as a new day and have a go at doing that day's lesson. For one thing, it helps me to be able to help you more. As the days go on, and more lessons go up, I can't check back on class charts for every single different lesson, because all the work you upload, it's all on one specific thing for the time when I set it. So I will be going back to check only as far as 1 week behind whatever day it is. So if you've done some work that is for a lesson that's more than a week ago, still upload it, but email me and let me know that you've done, and then I can go back and change that to a submitted instead of a not submitted on the homework thing, and we can go forward like that. Hope that makes sense. Hope you're enjoying vectors and you're going to carry on enjoying vectors. And for those of you who didn't have a go at this error intervals question, pause the video and have a little go at it before watching me go through it. So here's the problem. As I said, pause it if you haven't had a go already. Right, now there are sort of 3 different stages to this problem, and the first 2 stages doesn't matter which order you do it in. So I'm going to do the rearranging first, but I could, if I wanted to, work out the bounds first. So I need to make you the subject of the formula. So I'm going to get rid of the 2as by taking 2as from both sides. That's going to give me v squared take 2as on this side equals u squared, and then because I want u and not u squared, I'm going to do the square root of both sides, and that's going to give me the root of v squared take 2as equals u. Now, I don't need to worry about plus or minus because positive is bigger than negative, isn't it? So, yeah, it'll just be the positive value that we're worrying about. Now, at this point, I'm going to think about what's going to happen. I want the biggest answer possible. Now, this one will want the upper bound. But if I take the largest thing I can get out with my bounds from this away, that's going to give me a smaller number to find the square root of, and I want a bigger number. So the a and s, I'm going to want lower bounds of. And there were some of you who missed that and did everything spot on, except you put your upper bounds values in for both of that. Now, if you did that, you only lost 1 mark out of 5. You don't lose 2. Because it's basically 1 mistake, as long as you found the right bounds for those. So now, finding the bounds, for v, we've got 35.2, that's going up to 35.3, and from 35.1, and that's going to be in between 35.25, 35.15, so the upper bound being, so this is v, and we are wanting the upper bound of that one, so we're going to be using 35.25 squared, take 2 times the a. If we consider a now, a is 9.8, going up 1 decimal place gets us to 9.9. Down 1 gets us to 9.7. So the halfway points are there and there. 9.85 is the upper bound, and 9.75 is the lower. Now we want the lower bound, so we're going to put 9.75 in there, and we're going to times that by the lower bound for s. Now s is a bit tricky because it's 2 decimal places, so the next one up would be 60.36 and the next one down would be 60.34. So halfway to there is 60.345 and there 60.355. So we want 60.345. And when it comes to working that out, one or two of you spent quite a lot of time getting in a bit more of a pickle by working out the different bits separately. That takes a load of time. All you need to do is get your calculator and press the square root 35.25 squared, and then just keep on typing. Take, and I always like to put brackets in here because of BIDMAS. It wouldn't actually matter, but it helps just keep it that bit clearer. 2 times 9.75 times 60.345 close brackets, and you can always go back afterwards and check that you put the right thing in. Now when we get that out, we get 8.113877. We don't need the other bits because our answer needs to be to 3 significant figures, so we want the 8.11. the 3 is only a 3, so it doesn't round it up, it stays as 8.11. Okay, here's our first little problem here. So write this down, pause the video and have a little think about it, see if you can do it. If you're not sure what to do just mathematically, start by drawing the journey out that all of those different things would do. Right, so if I am going to draw this out, 2q, so I'm going to do q first. So if I'm starting, so I'm going to start somewhere down in the middle here in case it goes somewhere that I'm not sure where I'm going to be. So if I start there, q would be -3 is 3 to the left, because remember the column vector is along the corridor and then up the stairs, and the arrow on a coordinate grid sheet tells us that to the right is positive. So 2q, we do q first of all, -3, 1, 2, 3 and up 1, so that is q. If I do another q, that gets me to there, so we can call that 2q. Then if we go p, p is 4, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and then vertically up 2 goes to here, so that would be p, and then we've got to take 3r, so that means doing the opposite of r 3 times. So instead of going 1 to the right, I'll go 1 to the left, and instead of going 2 up, I'll go 2 down. Oh, this is going to be a bit confusing, so that means I'm going to go down to there, and that's doing r once. I need to do r 3 times, so let's just do it again. 2, and then 1 to the left and down 2 again, and that's 3r, getting me down to here. Now where am I in comparison to where I started? Well, I started over here, didn't I? And I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, and going left is negative, and I am 2 down, and down is also negative. So by drawing, I can say that it's -5, -2. Now, some people don't like doing it by drawing. Some people like to just be able to do it with numbers, and we are going to need to sort of do that at some other questions as well. So let's just do that. So 2q would be 2 times both of those, which is negative 6 over 2 times 1 is 2. And then we are adding p, so then if we add 4, 2, negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, and then we're going to take 3r. So I've got my minus 2, 4, which is where I've got to, and we're going to, if I just write minus 3 and the r there, I'm going to times all of this by 3. So I've still got my minus 2, 4, and 3 ones, negative 3 times, or I could just keep the minus there, 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6. So now if I take 3 from negative 2, that's going to become more negative, isn't it? That is minus 5. And if I take 6 from 4, that's negative 2. And they are the same. So we can be happy with that. Okay, a bit more for you to practice on now coming up. Right, so here's your next bunch of questions. Pause the video and have a go, and then I will flash up the answers for the top 3 and I will work out some of the other ones or put in a bit more working for that. Anyway, pause it now. So here's your first 3 answers. This one may have caught people out if you weren't being too careful with your taking a negative means you add, doesn't it? So taking negative 3 is like adding 3 to 5. Taking negative 1 from 0 is like adding 1. So we get 8 and 1. Right, to do 3p plus 2r, I would work out 3p separately. So 3 5s are 15, 3 zeros are 0. And 2 2s are 4 and 2 7s are 14, and then 15 add 4 is 19 and 0 add 14 is 14. P plus R take Q next. So we've got 5 plus 2 is 7. Take negative 3 means add 3, which gives us 10. And on the bottom we've got 0 plus 7 is 7. Take negative 1 is plus 1 to 7 makes 8. And this last one, I'm definitely going to write this one out fully as we go. So 2p, 2 times 5 is 10, 2 zeros are 0. Minus 3q, I'm just going to leave the negative in there and do 3 negative 3s are negative 9, 3 negative 1s are negative 3. It might have been simpler to times them both by negative, but hey, you could have done that. And then we'd be adding to 7 at the end. 10, take a negative, so that's plus. 10 plus 9 is 19, plus 2 is 21. 0 plus 3 plus 7 makes 10. So 21, 10 is there. Right, we're going to have one more little thing to introduce you for today.